The village of Willowreed rested beside a quiet lake that reflected the heavens so perfectly that travelers often stopped simply to stare into its shimmering surface. By day, the lake fed the people. By night, it became a mirror for the stars. Among the villagers lived an old fisherman named Haru. Haru had spent nearly his entire life upon the water. He knew every current, every hidden rock, and every season of the fish. Yet as the years passed, something inside him quietly changed. One autumn evening, while rowing home beneath a full moon, Haru looked into the water. There it was. The moon floated beneath his boat. Not merely reflected, it seemed almost real, as though another world existed below the surface. "It is so close," he whispered. "If I could lift it from the lake, surely my life would become complete." From that night forward, Haru stopped fishing for fish. Instead, every evening he rowed to the center of the lake and cast his great net toward the glowing moon beneath the water. The net splashed. The reflection shattered into silver fragments. He pulled the ropes with all his strength. Only empty water greeted him. The current disturbed it. Haru muttered, "Tomorrow I shall be more careful." So he returned again, and again, and again. Night after night. The moon always appeared. The moon always escaped. Meanwhile, schools of fat carp swam silently beneath his boat. They brushed against the hanging ropes. Sometimes they even leaped into the air beside him. But Haru never noticed. His eyes remained fixed upon the shining illusion dancing across the lake. Weeks became months. His baskets grew empty. His savings disappeared. Neighbors wondered why the once successful fisherman now returned with nothing except wet nets and tired eyes. One morning, a young novice monk named Chin arrived from a nearby monastery. The abbot had sent him through the countryside to learn from ordinary people. When Chin reached the village, he asked the elders, "Who here has the greatest wisdom?" Several villagers laughed softly. Once, one replied, "We would have said Haru, but now, he spends every night trying to catch the moon." Curious, Chin waited until evening. As darkness settled over the lake, he watched Haru row toward the center. The moon rose. Its reflection glowed like polished silver. With great determination, Haru cast his net. Splash! The moon vanished into ripples. When the water settled, it returned exactly where it had been. Again Haru threw. Again he failed. The young monk quietly paddled beside him. "Good evening," Chin said. Haru sighed. "If you have come to laugh, join the others." "I have not come to laugh. I have come to understand." Haru pointed toward the water. "Do you see it? The moon." "Yes. It lies just beyond my reach. If I could catch it, everything would finally be enough." The novice looked into the lake. "I see the reflection." Haru frowned. "No, you see only a reflection. I see the moon itself." The monk remained silent for a long time. Finally, he asked, "May I borrow your net?" Reluctantly, Haru handed it over. Instead of casting toward the moon, Chin lowered the net gently beneath the surface. He waited. Only a few breaths passed before he lifted it again. Inside the net thrashed several large fish. They flashed like living silver beneath the moonlight. Haru stared. "I did not even know they were there." The monk smiled kindly. "They have always been there. You simply stopped looking." Haru gazed back toward the moon's reflection. For the first time in many months, he noticed how the fish passed directly beneath the glowing image. The moon had hidden nothing. His own attention had hidden everything. The novice dipped one finger into the water. The reflected moon broke apart. Tiny circles spread across the lake. "Where did the moon go?" he asked. "It disappeared." Chin looked upward. "Did it?" Haru slowly lifted his eyes. There, high above the lake, the true moon shone unchanged, untouched, whole. It had never been trapped inside the water. Only his mind had placed it there. The monk spoke softly. "We often chase reflections. We seek happiness inside wealth. We seek peace inside praise. We seek lasting joy inside things that constantly change. Meanwhile, life quietly swims beneath us." Haru sat without speaking. The night breeze moved across the lake. He suddenly heard sounds he had ignored for months. The splash of fish, the whisper of reeds, the distant call of an owl, the rhythm of his own breathing. Nothing had been missing, only his awareness. The next evening, Haru returned to the lake. The moon still floated upon the water. It was just as beautiful as before. He smiled at it, but this time, he lowered his net beneath the surface instead. The fish came willingly. His baskets filled once again. His family ate well. Yet something even greater had returned: his attention. Years later, Children often asked why the old fisherman smiled whenever the moon reflected upon the lake. Haru would simply point first to the water, then to the sky. If you mistake the reflection for the real thing, he would say, you may spend your whole life chasing what was never there. But if you learn to see clearly, you will discover that what truly nourishes you has been beside you all along. And on still nights, when the moon painted silver across the lake, Haru no longer tried to possess its beauty. He simply appreciated it, while quietly gathering the fish beneath. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when the mind clings to illusion. Like Haru, we search outside ourselves for lasting happiness, forgetting that peace has always been present beneath the surface of our own awareness. What moon have you been chasing, and what helped you realize what truly mattered? Comment below.